1 year on YouTube. 1 year of making videos about my favorite thing, video games. And man, has my channel gone from absolute shit to, hey, this isn't bad status. And that's awesome. And I have each and every one of you to thank for that. So let's get started. Thank you, Crafty Matt Gaming. Thank you, Mr. Game and Chat. Thank you, Deshaun Kelly. Thank you, Things That Don't Matter. Oh, hey, I like those guys. Thank you. You know what? 211 people is too many to go through. So thanks to all you guys. Thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for swinging by. I'm very happy and proud to be able to sit here and ramble on about my feelings on games, and I'm glad you find that entertaining. So raise your glass, because here's to 1 year on YouTube, and at least 20 more. Now then, on to the meat of the program, what you guys all came here to see today. In the spirit of doing a 1 year anniversary, I reached out and gave you guys some very weighted choices on videos for me to do on my Twitter. At Grenademanblitz, follow me for shenanigans. And the majority wanted to see me talk about my favorite game. Can you guess what that is? I bet I've said it in my previous videos. Go on, take a guess. Take a quick... Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Well then, you can plainly see what we're talking about. Megaman X4. And fuck yes, do I love this game. Oh yes, I do. Here's the backstory. When I was a kid, my dad was actually one of the higher ups at Warehouse Music Entertainment. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody? No one? Of course. Originally a company similar to that of Blockbuster, except for CDs, Warehouse expanded and began to incorporate movies and games as well. And when I was 6 years old, my dad brought me home a copy of Megaman X4. Now, I had never heard of Megaman at the time. All I knew was,
holy shit, these guys look like Power Rangers and he's got a lightsaber. Yes, this is amazing.
And I would spend each and every morning before school playing, learning the game, getting better at it, loving each and every moment as I went along. The graphics were great, the music was stellar, the cutscenes were awesome as a kid, serviceable nowadays, the levels, the bosses, I just love this game, I really do. Obviously, I'd start the game as X, and whoa, dark and foreboding cutscene about military strategy and whatnot? I had no idea what was happening, but man, it was cool. Then this guy, who's totally not Sigma, laughs and leaves. What a jerk. Let me touch on the story for a moment here. There are 3 factions at play. Mavericks, Reploids who've gone against their own programming for their own purposes. Maverick Hunters, who hunt them down and eliminate them. And the Repliforce, an army of Reploids. Now here's something that always struck me. Reploids are the first robots in the Mega Man timeline to have the ability to think and choose for themselves. That's why Dr. Light sealed X away for so long, to make sure that he wouldn't turn against humanity when he was created. So, if Reploids have the ability to choose themselves, and Mavericks are marked as such because they go against their programming and have become a threat to mankind, essentially they're terrorists. Terrorism based on free will, in a game about robots. Now that's a topic something my 6-year-old mind wouldn't realize until many years later. So anyway, back to the game. The first level starts after that, and you learn about jumping and shooting and charging and holy hell, look at this big guy! Seriously, this is crazy. This giant robot just shows up out of nowhere and starts attacking you. Now, my main gaming experience before the PS1 was Sonic the Hedgehog, and before X4, a bit of Crash Bandicoot. So I didn't really know what a health bar was, but I was familiar with the concept of having points taken away by damage. So when this little bar would go down every time I hit him, I guess I figured, hey, maybe if I whittle this down, I'll win. You see that, modern game designers? You don't need a joke made by Egoraptor like 7 times in that one Sequel Legends video to tell me what to do. I learned, because I'm very clever.
I'm very clever guy.
Whoa. You reach the end of the level and whoa, who's this badass? He tells you that some maverick, probably this guy, blew up the reactor and the whole flying city is gonna fall. And it does, and people die, and X is like, fuck. So you go through the rest of the level. Colonel, who, as a kid, I thought was pronounced Colonel, tells you that, nope, fuck you, Repliforce ain't disarming. By the way, Repliforce is an army of Reploids, and, well, could pose a significant threat if they ever decided to go rogue, and so, yeah, if they were under suspicion of inciting a terrorist attack, then maybe they should comply. And just fucking leaves. Then there's this cutscene about how Repliforce is like, nah, we're gonna build our own nation, our own outer heaven. And that's the intro to the game. After that, you get your standard affair. 8 bosses to kill, weapons to obtain, upgrades to get, and this guy totally isn't evil. But the main highlight of the game, which I didn't know was super special at the time, was the ability to play as Zero for the entirety of the game. And well, obviously we're gonna play as him because A, he's the color of justice, B, he's got a fucking lightsaber, and 3, he's got great hair. So let's start up Zero's campaign and, unsurprisingly, we get another very dark opening cutscene. Except this time, it's got nightmare fuel for anybody under the age of 10. Holy fuck, this intro is dark. Zero is literally having a nightmare about his past, and how apparently he slaughtered so many Reploids. Jesus Christ, man, I was just a kid. But then, the Maverick Hunters need to scramble because shit's going down.
And then
Emergency, emergency, all Maverick hunters on call should assemble immediately.
Of course, you start on the same level, but immediately you notice that Zero is just so goddamn satisfying to play, like, holy shit, I'm lightning death. Seriously, it feels like this game was designed around playing as Zero. Dashing, jumping, slashing, all feel just so good to do. Fluid, like water, as opposed to other Mega Man X games where you can play as Zero. The level starts out the same, but then, love interest. Now, this shit right here got to me as a kid. The saying goes, your first waifu is the one you keep forever. Well, this right here, Grenademanblitz first waifu. And absolutely nothing bad could ever happen to her, right? Right? No, I will not abuse that joke. So you beat Colonel again, end up at Hunter HQ, and realize, again, this game should just have been called Zero X4 because playing as Zero is just so goddamn fun. Now, whereas Mega Man X, or as he's actually called, just X, would steal the weapons of his opponents as he beats them, Zero has a bit of a different system. It's called the learning system, and he, instead of taking their weapons, actually learns and adapts his own moveset based on them. Check it out. I just beat Web Spider, who looks dumb as shit, and learned however the hell you say that. Now, as Mega Man, you get an ability where you shoot a web that stops enemies and can be jumped on. As Zero, however, he learns an attack where you can stab his saber for continuous damage, or split mushroom here. It's as if he was watching the entire fight, because after beating him, you get a sweet double jump and a super cool flippy move. And that's how it is for every boss. Beat the guy who does the icicle move, now you can make an icicle with your sword. Beat the guy who dashes through the air constantly, hey, that looks like fun, how about I do that too? It feels more like growth than actually stealing their powers as Mega Man, in my opinion. If you haven't noticed by now, I fucking love playing this game as Zero. When you start the game, a lot of the time you'll spend really feeling out his moves, but by the end of it, you'll be hacking and slashing using multiple moves at the same time. It's super satisfying. Now here's something I don't understand. I've heard people say before that X4 has one of the weakest soundtracks in the series, and frankly, I'm very inclined to disagree. Maybe it's just the nostalgia talking, or maybe it's because I didn't play X first because I had a Sega, but I feel like X4 has one of the best soundtracks in the series. As opposed for going for straight up hard rock / synthesized metal in each level, each area of the game has a soundtrack that complements the stage. Magma Dragoon's level takes place in a volcano, so the music is very deliberate and fiery. Web Spider's music has more of a jungle beat vibe to it, and my personal favorite, Jet Stingray. Fucking yes, I love this song. Just listen to it for a few seconds. Oh god, yes, it's so good. Albeit that level may not be actually platforming, the thrill of riding on one of those bikes is exemplified by the amazing soundtrack. It's fucking great. Let's talk about cutscenes. No. Okay. So it's 1996, and you're finishing up localization of this game from Japan. The game market has been climbing up for the past 10 years or so out of a huge slump, and we're just getting into the idea of having voice acting in games. What an amazing time to be working on this medium. Your job is to bring in talent to have voiceovers in these games. But what self-respecting voice actor is going to go work on a toy, on a video game? Not many, to say the least. You have to think about the times when this game was being released. It was a new era for gaming, and no one really ventured into actual acting for the medium. So having any form of voice acting was just interesting to begin with. Does the acting in the scene suck? Absolutely. Is it a product of the time? Absolutely as well. Does it get the message across for the game's story? Definitely. Has it spawned one of the best / overused memes in video game history? You be the judge. Beating all of the bosses as X or Zero sends you to the spaceport, where you have to have a final duel with Colonel. As X, it's strictly business. But as for Zero, well, here's the thing. Zero is heavily implied to have some sort of relationship, or at least be in love with Iris. And seeing as how Colonel is her brother, killing him's not gonna make Zero look good with Iris. But Zero knows what he has to do, and so you kick his ass. But then you get back to Hunter Base and Iris is gone! Where could she have gone off to? Well, she's left for outer space with Reproforce to take advantage of a space laser. Yep, there's a space laser. And is pretty upset that you killed her brother. So upset that she knows how to use the Spirit Bomb now and turn it into a set of armor. Well, Zero, what do? Do you fight the one you love to save the planet? Or do you lay down your sword and... Oh. Well, I guess to progress the game it was necessary. Anyway, everyone's favorite cutscene happens, and it is on to the only difficult fight in the game as Zero, Bane from Batman. He's a big guy for you. Seriously, all the other fights as Zero are at least easy to manageable, but this guy? Oh, no. Only spot you can hurt him is his tiny little head, and the only way to get up there is to climb the walls or wait for his rocket punch. and if you ride the top fist to attack his head, he'll shoot bubbles at you. That hurt. So basically, you're stuck hitting and dodging. Or you can wait for him to drop down a bit and jump slash over him, but the random number generator for his moves is, well, not in your favor. It's worth noting that had you played as X, instead of Iris being at the Hunter base, this fat ass would have been. His name is Double. He's a pretty cool. Oh, I get it. Double like double agent. That's fucking funny. Anyway, his fight is a bit more challenging. But other than that, the rest of the game is exactly the same. Except for when you kill the 8 Robot Masters again, because, let's be honest, it wouldn't be a fucking Mega Man game if you didn't, as Zero. Zero is treated to a cutscene showing his past, about how he used to be a Maverick and Sigma found him. Zero kicked his ass hardcore, and when he was about to finish the job, forgot to set his energy source to Wumbo and had a seizure. Sigma punched him out hardcore, and now we're here. So you gotta fight the Grim Reaper, who's a pushover. I mean Lex Luthor on steroids, who's a bit harder. I mean Neon Genesis Evangelion and a giant head, who are the only hard parts of the fight. And bam, you beat him. But the energy thing is all shaky and it's gonna explode, and General comes out and he's all like,
Man, this war cost me an arm and a leg. But seriously, I'm gonna sacrifice myself to save the Earth.
and Zero's all, I mean whatever works I guess. And then you leave the space station and Zero laments about his life choices. X does the same thing and that's it. You've beaten Mega Man X4. Now while there isn't any new game plus or bonus for beating all of it, let's face it, it's still a Mega Man game. There are a couple of cheat codes that allow you to play as either Ultimate Armor X, which makes the game go from manageable/easy, depending on who you are, or Baby's First Platformer. The second cheat code lets you play as Black Armor Zero, a nice nod to the previous entries of the series, but it's just cosmetic otherwise. So then, why do I love this game so much? Well, other than being a goddamn good platformer, and a great game to play in short bursts, seriously took me only 2 hours to get the entire game footage, it's very nostalgic for me. I know using nostalgic to call a game good isn't actually a fair critical point, but that definitely adds to it for me. And you know what? I do have a few friends. And those friends have played it later in life and say, you know what? This game is pretty darn good. But for me, the cheesy voice acting, the action-packed gameplay, the incredible music, the beautiful sprite work all culminate into a game that I could literally play over and over again. And honestly, I think that's the best feeling in the world. Think about your favorite game for a second. And I mean really, dig deep down inside of yourself and consider what your favorite game is. Is it the best game in the world? Probably not. But why do you love it so much? It probably left an impact on you in a way that other games can't. And I strongly believe that might be a part of what molds us into having a favorite game. Granted, not everyone's favorite game falls into that echelon. I know plenty of people who grew up loving one game only to play Skyrim and say it's their favorite game of all time, and that's okay. Video games are meant to be an escape, a way to silence out the rest of the world. And Mega Man X4 allows me to become that hero that I always wanted to be growing up. What does your favorite game do for you? Does it allow you to travel to faraway lands? Does it have a story that just captivates you each time you play? Or is the gameplay so damn fun that you forget all about the drama in the world? Whatever it is, it's entirely up to you to interpret, and that's great. After all, if we didn't have the ability to think or choose or feel, we'd just be robots. Continuing the trend of me not rating games on a number system, I'll say that if you haven't played Mega Man X4 before, give it a shot, especially if you haven't really delved into the Mega Man series. After all, it's pretty much the reason why I love the Mega Man games. Thank you all so much for watching, and again for sticking with me for my 1 year anniversary. It's freaking awesome to say that. Seriously, 211 subscribers by the end of year 1? That's amazing. So thank you to each and every one of you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and from the top of my soul, and the middle of my stomach, because I haven't eaten today in an attempt to get this video out. If you enjoyed this video, please leave me a like to let me know that you did. If you want, maybe I'll start doing more in-depth overviews of games like this, because it's not really a review. Let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd like to see in the future. Speaking of comments, let me know what you thought in there as well. Did you enjoy it? Do you like Mega Man X4? Do you think the music sucks? If you do, you're wrong. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey there, buddy. I see you there. This is the first time you've seen one of my videos, isn't it? Well, welcome to the party, my friend. Hit that subscribe button for more usually weekly videos about gaming and whatnot. And you, the person showing somebody this video because you enjoyed it, thank you very much. Please continue to share this video and others of mine on social media, so that way, on my 2 year anniversary, we can do an even bigger video. A couple of announcements I'd like to make before I go. Number 1, my buddy Ray, aka Evil Space Monkey, aka Rhino, has decided to start up his own YouTube channel as well. More on that to come, but if you want to see him, my buddy Cameron, and myself get into some spooky situations, click that top video up there. If you want to see one of my personal favorite videos that I've done, click that bottom video to see the brilliance of Kirby's game design. The second big announcement is that I plan upon reaching 1,000 subscribers to do a quote-unquote face reveal video of some sort. What that is, I have no idea, and well, you'll see. Help me reach that goal. And again, Here's to many more of my videos and you guys hanging out with me. I'll see you in the next video. And believe you me, there will be a next video. Always remember, video games are the best video games. Later!